ready to go live. Okay, thank you. Okay, reading from iPhone. I can hear you from Lagos, Nigeria. Can you please put your name, write your name, and where you are watching from, listening from? Can you please include your name and where you're watching from, listening from? It's an epic making event tonight, and we want to ensure that you're getting everything that you need to get tonight. Yeah, thank you, Umana Nseka. Thank you, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome, you're welcome. Yeah, Comfort from Nigeria. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining. Yeah, we are having the numbers for building up gradually. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from as soon as you join in the room. Tell us your name and where you are coming from in the chat section. Tonight, we want to make it as much as interesting worth the while. Tonight is the first night of the 3 days boot camp, migration through the HCA route to the United Kingdom. Yeah, let's have your names and where you are watching from in the comment section. Thank you, Sammy from Kenya. Thank you, Begonia from Port Harcourt, Nigeria. You're welcome. Thank you, Mana Nsekak from Lagos, Rawlins, Nigeria. You're welcome. My name is Bethel, and I'm currently in the United Kingdom. Thank you, Abidemi Kendi. Tell us where you are watching from. Tell us where you are joining from, either on the Zoom or on the YouTube channel. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us your name and where you're watching from. Thank you. We're just going to have this brief introduction, then we start the event in earnest very, very soon. Very, very soon. Can you let your friends know that the program has started? Can you let them know that we have opened the Zoom room? We are live on YouTube and we have started the event now. We've started the program, the HCA, the 3 days HCA boot camp. We are live. We are live. We are live. You are welcome. Everybody, you are welcome. You are welcome. HCA UK Migration Bootcamp Day 1. I want you to put your favorite emoji in the chat session and let me know that you are ready for tonight. Can you put your favorite emoji in the chat section? Thank you, Omolayo from Osogbo, Nigeria. Send in your favorite emoji in the chat section and let us know that you are ready. Can you send in your favorite emoji in the chat section and let us know that you are ready for tonight? You're ready? Thank you. Thank you. You're ready tonight. You are ready. Tonight is going to be hot. Tonight is going to be something that will remain remarkable in your life. Tonight is going to be, it's not just going to be one of those days that you have had to join a Zoom link. At the end of tonight's meeting, your path is going to be placed rightly, and then you can tell yourself that this is where I am meant to be. Can you just put in the comment section your favorite emoji? I'm ready. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, I like the emojis of dancing. Yeah, thank you very much. You're ready for tonight, ready for the HCA, the day one of the HCA boot camp. You are ready. I am ready. I hope you are ready. Yeah, you got to be excited because this is the place to be. You got to be excited because this is the time for you. You got to be excited. Yeah, you got to be excited. I welcome everybody. I welcome everybody. The emoji of burning. Yeah, let's have it. The thumbs up. Send in your favorite emoji tonight. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. You are welcome. If you're watching live on the YouTube or you're watching from the Zoom room, we want to welcome everybody to the first day, to the day one of the boot camp for the HCA migration routes to the UK. You are all welcome. If you're just joining in, please type in your name and your location. Let us know where you are watching from tonight. Let's know where you have joined us from tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, just checking. Thank you, Sami Munene. Thank you, Fatima Lion Day. Thank you, Josephine Amoa. Thank you, iPhone. Okay, that's Instacart. Now, thank you, Comfort. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Begonia. Thank you, thank you. You are all welcome. So as soon as you join, kindly keep yourself muted so that we can have a very smooth conversation, a very decent interaction between ourselves tonight. And then you can get all the juices in the discussion tonight. You are all welcome. You are all welcome. You are all welcome. Welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. JJ, are you in the house? Are you ready?
Yes.
Hello, JJ. Yes. Can we have JJ tell us why we are here? I know that you have all joined because you've seen either the flyer or you've read something or somebody has told you about something coming up tonight. Let's hear it from JJ why we are here tonight so that you stay focused. Thank you, JJ. JJ, yes, you have the floor.
Thank you, Josephine. I am excited. Yeah. I am excited. If you are more excited, more exhilarated than I am, let me see you beat me in the comment section. Let me just see you beat my excitement. Let's see, is there anybody who's going to beat my excitement tonight? Because I am just super excited. Just drop in what you are feeling right now, because this boot camp is going to be on fire. Man, too much loaded for Africans. Oh my God, I am so happy that this is finally happening. Oh, I can see fire. Oh, I'm really so excited that this is happening, because a lot of work going on behind the scene for the past few weeks to make sure this kicks off on the grand style. And special kudos to everyone who has been working behind the scene to make this happen. And oh my God, the team, every one of you, you've been so amazing. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. My name is Josiah Jackson Okeshola. I am a mental health nurse from the city of Exeter, Devon, Southwest United Kingdom. I am a mental health nurse, and I've been practicing in the UK for some time now, and I'm enjoying the atmosphere. The weather is so inviting this time. And being here, it's been a lot of blessing in disguise. It's been a lot of beautiful things. No place like home. Yeah, I know, but sometimes it can also be home away from Oh man, that is what I've been feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful evening, and so far so good. We are ready to really dish out so much value, endless value throughout the 3 days of the boot camp. And I'm sure by the time many of you are running off this boot camp, your life is not gonna remain the same again. So the big question, why exactly are we here? On the eve of December 25, 2021, the United Kingdom Migration Advisory Committee announced the decision to add healthcare workers to the shortage occupation list. That was a big decision. Every single one of us have been waiting for that decision for months. So when the announcement came in December, it was a heavy announcement. The first time in the history of the United Kingdom that such an announcement would be made. And what could have led to that big, huge decision? There's no how we can talk about this boot camp without talking about what actually led to this. How did we get here? Okay, so since the outbreak of COVID-19, actually, the UK health and care sector have been experiencing unprecedented challenges brought in by the pandemic. All over the world, everybody's feeling it, but I can tell you categorically that if there's any country in the world that feels the impact or that have felt the impact of the pandemic more, UK should be on the top 3. Apart from the fact that healthcare professionals were in shortage, many were leaving the profession in droves. However, when the second wave, the Omicron came, it was a devastating experience because there was an increase in staff absences. There were major complications in the existing shortage in the availability of health workers in the UK, and that brought about a very unusual situation. And so, to make matters worse, the government made a law. They brought in a requirement for care homes and said that staff of care homes need to be vaccinated. Oh my God. The vaccination issue brought a lot of concerns, a lot of worries about people who are saying they're going to leave because they're not ready to vaccinate. And they're saying, we are not even enough, and you're bringing laws that are even going to chase people away. So there was a lot of confusion, a lot of, anxiety and worry. And so the UK government had to quickly run into action. And in order to avoid an impending danger, the UK government needed to do something immediately to temper the severe and increasing difficulties that was bombarding the health and social care sector, especially when there was so much struggling with recruitment, retention, the NHS, the private sector. Every single one was in their straits. And so the decision was made that care workers need to be added to the shortage list, because even before that time, many people have been campaigning against the government for ignoring the role of healthcare assistants during the pandemic. So it was an announcement that many have been looking forward to. And that was how UK erupted with that big announcement. So the question is, UK, how does it affect the average African who is not living in UK? The implication is that for the UK government, the immigration changes was a smart move to bolster the workforce and alleviate most of the pressure that was being experienced in the United Kingdom. So for UK, that was a plus. It meant that the decision to add healthcare workers to the shortage occupation list for 12 months will allow migrant workers to get visas very faster than ever, so that they can quickly come to the UK and fill the crazy spaces that have been left behind. It also means that healthcare organizations like NHS, hospitals, private homes that were battling seriously with staff shortages could recruit permanent staff, who will stay in the system for longer period. And that was a big plus to healthcare organization. Everyone was excited. As a migrant worker who is living in Africa, what is the implication? The UK is having a plus, yeah. But what about Africans? As a migrant worker, this not only gave Africans the opportunity to legally secure a permanent job in the United Kingdom, it also meant, this is the most exciting part for me, sincerely speaking, this part was what swept me off my feet. It did not stop there that as an African, you can legally secure a permanent job in the UK. It's also meant that automatically you can come with your family, your immediate family, your wife, your kids can come to the UK with the visa they're going to give you. That was a mind-blowing development. So whether you're in Nigeria, you're a Ghanaian, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Uganda, Liberian, Cameroonian, Sierra Leonean, from any country in Africa, you add that potential increase by 50% automatically, if not 100, of accelerating that dream of relocating to the United Kingdom and taking your family along. It was an exciting announcement. And come to think of it, the healthcare sector in the UK is also a rewarding place to work because the pay is really good. So whether you are a diploma holder, a degree holder, master's holder, healthcare, not healthcare, the door opened up for everyone that opportunity to come to the United Kingdom and come and be a permanent citizen after a few years. That was a big opportunity. Well, since that time, a lot of people have been trying to get the access, to get the entry, to know how exactly they can do it. But I can tell you categorically that so far, so good, only a few have succeeded. Why? One reason why many have failed hundreds of applications is because they never had someone to hold them by the hand and show them the smart way. They were working like mad. They were working hard. No career guidance and counseling, no mentorship, no coaching, no support, no expert assistance from anyone. They were just doing it on their own, picking this from the internet, picking that from the internet, and trying to see what they could do. Worst of all, many people saw it as an opportunity to exploit a lot of desperate individuals who wanted to come at all means. They were extorting people, collecting money from people, asking people to pay exorbitant amounts for something that they're supposed to get on a platter of gold. And so after things became a little bit tense, a few nurses in the United Kingdom around the beginning of the year began discussing and brainstorming what can we do to help our brothers in Africa, and so that we don't only give them fishes, but we also teach them how to fish. And that was how the idea of the boot camp was birthed. And since then, a lot of brainstorming has been done, a lot of research, digging everywhere to get information that could make the accessibility easier for Africans to get into the United Kingdom. And I tell you, a lot of research work, a lot of collaborative talks have been ongoing over the last few months to make sure that that barrier is being broken. That is one of the reasons why you are at a boot camp tonight, because some people have been brainstorming and working hard, sleepless nights over the last 3 months to make sure that that boundary is broken, and as many Africans as possible utilize this opportunity before it goes up. Let me round up by saying this opportunity is not there forever. From the policy that we have, it says that it's just till 2022. By December 2022, there is a high chance that this opportunity will disappear into the thin air, and no one will be able to see it again. Maybe It might not be, but we have to prepare as if the opportunity is not going to come. It's going to come once in a lifetime. And that is why we're doing everything we can to help Africans to access that opportunity and end up living the life of their dreams away from Africa. Coming back to Africa to invest intellectually, to invest socio-economically, so that everyone who is talking about brain drain can start talking about brain gain. Thank you very much, Bethel, for having me. Thank you, everyone. I am so excited this evening. If you are excited again, let me see your comments in the comment section. What are you feeling? I want to see the comment. Please start dropping the comment right now. What are you feeling? Are you feeling like you are on your way to the United Kingdom already? That is what you should be feeling. Thank you very much, everyone. See you again very soon. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much, JJ. Thank you. And I'll be taking it up from there. If you are going to be here, then you got to start feeling that you are here. I want to read from the comment section what you are feeling about all what you are hearing, all what you've heard already. What are you feeling about it? You have to begin to see yourself in the land of opportunity. This opportunity is coming again. And like he said, you've had it several times. Opportunity comes but once. So we want to grab this opportunity while it is still on. We're not saying that this is just the one time that this opportunity will come, but while it is on, you've got to grab this opportunity. Come on, go to the comment section and let us know how excited you are. Yeah. You need to say that you are here, because not until you get here, as in you are here by faith, you will not reach here. All right, thank you very much, reading from everybody. Let us move on. We are going to go to one of the main reasons why we are here tonight. Like JJ said, to learn, to have somebody hold you by the hand and show you the way, not just doing things your own way, lead you by the, by the hand for you to understand what you need to do to get your dream job. Yeah, it is home away from home. Yes. So permit me to quickly have the profile of Josephine, who we will be having tonight come up to talk to us. She will be bringing the presentation, but quickly let me give you her profile. Josephine A. Amoa. She's a UK qualified registered general nurse and infection prevention and control specialist nurse. She has worked in diverse healthcare environments, including medical and surgical ward, hospice, and palliative care. And she has amassed a lot of experiences under her professional belt. She believes that there is more to nursing than bedside nursing, and offers professional career coaching and mentoring to qualified nurses, helping them to find their purpose and help them develop themselves personally and professionally. Josephine has lived in the United Kingdom for over 19 years, and she prides herself on being knowledgeable about the healthcare system and nursing profession in the UK. She uses this knowledge and her experiences as a nurse to assist nurses, nursing students, and other healthcare professionals to navigate their careers in the UK. In 2021, she authored a guidebook for nurses titled How to Be a Great Nurse, 15 Characteristics Needed by the Modern Nurse. This book aims to make it easier for nurses to be aware of and adopt the soft skills, which are the characteristics that they require to become successful in their nursing career. The characteristics discussed in the book are also applicable to anyone who works in health and social care sector, and not just the nurses. Josephine is one of the board of directors of Record Foundation, a Ghana-based NGO that aims to bridge the gap in period poverty and help to eradicate diseases like malaria by providing appropriate malaria prevention equipment to the less privileged in the society. Josephine also believes that care provided to patients needs to be safe, effective, timely, and of good quality. And because of this, she founded the Bina Consult. Bina Consult is a healthcare and nursing consulting agency that provides professional training and quality improvement services to healthcare professionals and healthcare facilities in Ghana, respectively. Josephine is delighted to be part of the ultimate HCA Career Transition Support Bootcamp, and she hopes to inspire as many of you as possible to join the nursing profession. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I want you to go to the comment section and welcome Josephine Amoa into our midst, even as she tells us about what is the work of the HCA. What do they really do? What does it mean to be an healthcare assistant in the UK? Come on, let's go to the comment section and do that while we have Josephine joining us. Josephine, are you ready? Are you ready, Josephine? You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. Thank you for accepting to be part of this bootcamp. You are excited. And thank you for wanting to share your knowledge with us tonight.
Thank you, Bethel.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Let me share my screen.
Yeah, you're welcome, Josephine. Yes, you will share your screen.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
No. Have you given permission?
Yes,
Yes,
you are. Yeah.
Apologies. Okay, just give me a sec, please. Oh dear. Just give me a sec. Technology. I'll get there eventually. One sec.
Well, yeah.
Okay, just 1 second.
You're welcome, Josephine. You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome. I want you to just get your pen and your papers ready because you're going to be making some notes, some notes from what we'll be learning tonight. What is the role of the HCA? What do they really do? What does it mean to be an HCA? That's what we're learning. We can see your screen.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
I was getting a bit worried.
It's all right. So Josephine will be talking to us about what does it mean to be.
So it looks like I've been kicked out because I'm using 2 screens. The other one I've been kicked out.
We can still see your screen.
We can see your screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Yeah, I'm using 2 screens. So
okay.
The other one, I was using that for the video and I've been kicked out from that one.
Okay, it's back now.
Yeah. Right. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Perfect.
We can hear you.
Okay. So good evening, everyone, and thank you for the lovely welcome, Bethel, and thank you for the lovely introduction as well, JJ. So I welcome you all to this bootcamp this evening, wherever you're watching from Facebook, from YouTube, from Zoom. I welcome you all, and I think it's worth appreciating that you took the time out of your busy schedules to be here to learn on how to migrate to the UK to become a healthcare assistant. So tonight, I'll just be going through what the healthcare assistant role is and everything to do with the role in terms of monetary compensations and other compensations as well, and what you get from migrating to the UK as a healthcare professional. Right, so just on my screen. So again, the objectives for tonight's presentation is to talk about what healthcare assistants actually do. So throughout my presentation, you probably hear me referring to the healthcare assistants as HCAs or support workers. They all mean the same thing. They all do the same thing. And we'll also look at the kind of skills that are needed for you to become, not only to get a healthcare assistant job, but also to sustain and to flourish in that position. We'll talk about why you should choose healthcare assistant as a career in the United Kingdom and what you should expect, how much healthcare assistants earn, because I think that's very, very important, and the kind of prospects that are available to you when you do finally migrate to the UK to work as a healthcare assistant. Let me put it. Okay. Is it bigger now? Perfect.
Perfect.
Yes, thank you.
It is. Yes, it is.
So healthcare assistants, I always describe them as the eyes and the ears of the nurses. And I say that because in such a busy environment that we all work in, the nurses are just so busy sometimes that sometimes you have no time to sit down with your patients or to do all the nursing things that you have to do. So we have the healthcare assistants who are just assistants to the nurses, and they help them with looking after the patients from, with anything that the patient needs doing for them. Now, healthcare assistants work in different and diverse environments. We have some that work in acute sector, so they work in hospitals, big hospitals. They work on the wards, helping patients with whatever it is that they need help with, checking patients' vital signs, assisting them with their activities of daily living. So that that ranges from having a bath, having a shower, helping them to feed, assisting them with anything that they need assistance with. In that type of environment, it's quite fast-paced. The turnaround of cases is quite high. It's quite busy. Anybody who's worked in a hospital before, or if you know anybody who actually works in a hospital, they'll let you know how busy it is to work in a hospital. It's quite fast-paced, but you're forever learning and you're forever developing yourself. Now, we have healthcare assistants that work on maternity ward, in outpatient department, in nursing homes, as well as residential homes. So in the nursing homes or the residential homes, we cannot treat those kind of homes as the patient's home, in that it's not a hospital environment. It's a place where, if they're not safe enough to live in their own homes, they go and live there. Sometimes they live there for a short period of time, maybe a week, a month, a few months, and others stay there until the end of their lives. It depends on what the reason is for them going into the nursing homes. So in that kind of environment, it's more very homely, very relaxed environment. It gets busy. I mean, every healthcare environment is busy. It's got its own busy periods. But in the healthcare, in the nursing homes and the residential homes, you find that it's much more relaxed, much more laid back, because the patients are not sick. Even though they may have some, medical conditions, they are not acutely ill as the patients that are in a hospital. So you find that the care that you provide for them is more laid back and more relaxed. Again, you provide a holistic care. In some residential homes where they don't have nurses working in there, the healthcare professionals are actually trained to give medications. So apart from all the other roles that healthcare professionals, healthcare assistants undertake, in the residential homes, they are trained to also give medications. But you won't find that in any other healthcare settings in the United Kingdom, apart from in the residential homes. Sometimes, carers and nurses go into patients' own homes, and we call that domiciliary care. So you go to the patient's own home, and again, you provide the kind of care that they are, or the kind of care that they are due, or the kind of care that is in their care plan. So every patient that you look after, they will have a care plan, either in a hospital, in a care home, in the client's own home. They will have a care plan that will tell you everything you need to know about that patient or that client, and it will tell you what their needs are. So whatever care you're providing to the patients or to the client will be based on the care plan that has been devised for them as soon as they get into that environment, okay? So healthcare assistants also work in community settings such as rehab units or community hospitals. Again, those are low acuity. The patients in there are low acuity, so you know the environment is not as fast-paced as a proper acute hospital. But again, you'll be providing them with holistic care. Whatever they need is what you're providing them with. We also have healthcare assistants that work in what we call the general practice. So in the UK, everybody in the UK is registered with a general practice. So when you are ill, the general practice is your first point of contact before you even go to accident and emergency, or before you even call emergency service on 999. You contact your GP. We call them the GP, general practice is GP. You call your GP when you're not well or when you need some investigations done. You ring them, and then they'll be your first point of call. They will explain whatever it is that you need. They'll take your history, and then they'll advise you accordingly, and they'll refer you accordingly as well. But we do have healthcare assistants that work in GP surgery. And GP surgeries are sometimes attached to pharmacies. And that's how come I've put the pharmacy and the GP practice together. Some GP practices are attached to pharmacy. So you'll be working in the GP practice, again, taking blood pressure, sometimes providing wound care, wound dressing, sometimes clinics. I mean, I went for blood tests a few days ago, and the bloods were taken by a healthcare assistant, not a nurse. So depending on the environment that you work in, the healthcare settings that you work in, that will determine the kind of duties that you undertake as a healthcare professional. Because in the hospital, in the majority of the areas, healthcare assistants don't take bloods. We have other professionals that take blood, like the nurses, the doctors, or the phlebotomists. But in the GP surgery, the remit of healthcare assistants is a bit bigger. They do so much more. They are more autonomous. They're more independent in what they do. And then in pharmacy as well, they, obviously help with maybe not dispensing the medication as such, but once the pharmacy has dispensed the medications, they can give it out to the patient, or they do whatever it is that the pharmacist asks them to do. So again, in that environment, the role that a HCA undertakes is is determined by the nurses or the pharmacists or whoever is in charge of that pharmacy. Healthcare assistants work in different environments. I cannot list all of them here, but these are some of the very common ones that you come across when you're looking for jobs online. So what skills do HCAs need in this to get a job and to keep that job? Now, the list that you can see, it's what I classify as soft skills. So these are the skills that you need it needs to be embedded in your daily practice. These are the skills that you need to have. I mean, nobody can teach you how to be compassionate or how to be empathetic. You have to be that kind of person. For you to get into healthcare and to look after people, you need to have these basic, I call them basic, intrinsic. You need these kind of skills so that it can help you to deliver the kind of care that the patients that you're looking after deserve, okay? Because if you're not empathetic, then you're not sympathetic to the needs of your patients. Therefore, you may not go above and beyond, or you may not feel obliged to provide that kind of service to your patients. So you need good customer service skills. when patient asks you for something, you should be, you know, going above and beyond and looking after that patient. You need to be a good team player. All right. So as a healthcare assistant, you are part of what we call the MDT, and the MDT means a multidisciplinary team. You are part of the team that looks after patients throughout their journey whilst they are in your care. So you need to be a great team player. You need to be able to, you know, you need to be able to
Hello, Josephine. Please unmute yourself and continue.
oh dear. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure why, but it keeps kicking me out.
We can hear you.
Right. Okay. So what I was just rounding off on the skills that I was talking about. What I was saying was that these are the skills that as human beings you should have anyway. Nobody can teach you all these skills. So I mean, you can learn, but I'm not sure how far people can teach you to be empathetic or to be, you know, a great communicator. But I mean, as part of your personal and professional development, you can seek out courses and workshops and things like that to help you develop on any of these skills if you feel like you're not as good as you should be. All right. But these are the skills that you need as a minimum to be able to undertake your job, undertake the HCA role. So why choose a healthcare profession or healthcare HCA career in the UK, and what should you expect from it? So I've been a nurse for I think 12 years now, going on 12 years, and I've been in the healthcare system for 15 years. And to be honest with you, at the risk of sounding very cheesy, I cannot see myself doing anything else apart from being a nurse. I love the job so much because it's a role where you get to give yourself to people. You get to go above and beyond. You get to look after people when at their most vulnerable times. You get to provide the kind of services that patients won't get anywhere. You understand? Because sometimes, you know, patients' own family, they can't even look after them because they become so overwhelmed. But as a healthcare professional, you are equipped with the knowledge, the skills, the experience, the overview of things. You are in such a place where you understand the patient's pain, you understand what they are going through. Therefore, you are best placed to provide evidence-based care to them. So it's a very fulfilling job. And I mean, for me, it's very fulfilling. And for people that I speak with and I work with, they love being a nurse or they love being in the healthcare profession. Now, it's being in the healthcare profession, you cannot just be in just for the sake of it or just because, oh, I've got no other job or because I want to make money. Because believe you me, if you come in with that mindset, it will break you because it can be a very tough environment to work in. Very stressful. I mean, you know, tantrums are being thrown sometimes, unfortunately, because people get so overwhelmed because it gets so bad. You're short-staffed most of the time. You know, there's not enough staff to provide the care that the patient needs. And that's like a common theme across the whole board, not just in the hospital or in the care home. And I'm not trying to scare any of you, but that's the realities on the ground. You know, it's not all milk and honey when you come here to be a healthcare professional. There are times when the job can get so tough. I mean, for me, sometimes I've actually quit in my head because it gets so stressful that sometimes if you're not careful, it might affect your mental health. But I think as a healthcare professionals, you develop ways and means of adapting and ways and means of overcoming those challenges when you do come across them. Okay, I mean, it also provides stable and secure job. I mean, the job security when you're a healthcare professional, I cannot overstate it. You're guaranteed as long as you're not doing anything illegal and as long as you're practicing within your remit and you're not doing anything bad, you are bound. I mean, I've known people that have been nurses for over 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, you understand? So it's a job for life, if you like. It's a job for life. As long as you're staying, you know, you're working according to regulations and policies and guidance, then there's no way you will lose your job. Therefore, you're guaranteed that job for life. It might not be in the same workplace, but if you're in the healthcare profession, it's a job for life, basically. It's also, flexible in the sense that sometimes, if you're not able to work a certain shift pattern, if you have a word with your manager, you can put into writing or make a request for flexible working. So I know when I had my child some years ago, I was struggling with childcare. So I made a request to work only nights, and it was specific days. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, only night, and that was granted to me. Okay, as long as your flexible request is not going to affect the people on the ward, it's not going to affect the business as usual. That's what they say it. Then there's no way your manager will not grant you that flexible working request. There are people that only work on weekends, people that only work during school times. There are so many options when it comes to flexible working. So for those of you that will be coming here with your families, with your young children, you'll find that childcare in the UK is very expensive. So people tend to do jobs that fit around their childcare or their children. So you may find that if you come with your children, even if you come with your husband, sometimes depending on the kind of job that your husband or your wife will be doing, it may, you may struggle with childcare, let's put it that way. So when you have that flexibility, when you have that option of applying for flexible working, it does help matters quite a lot. And it kind of ensures that you always have work and your finances are always intact. You're also entitled to annual leave. And I think in most places, annual leaves is minimum 20 days. And then you get, I think in the UK, we have 8 bank holidays. So you get your 20 days as a minimum, and then you get all the bank holidays in the UK off. If you do have to work on a bank holiday, you get paid. Some places you get paid like double your salary. Other places you get paid your salary and half of it. And other places you get some different calculations. They have different ways of paying, of making payments on if you do have to work on bank holidays. But everybody, as a minimum, is entitled to at least 20 days off from work. And with your annual leave, you can do whatever you want to do with your annual leave. You can go on holidays, you can just stay home and sleep, watch TV, whatever it is that you want to do is your time. Nobody can tell you what to do. If you want to work extra somewhere else, that's your own problem. But you are entitled to that. Okay, so you're not working 365 days a week. No, that's illegal. You're also entitled to like specialist training and development. So again, depending on the role that you are in or the organization that you work for, they will kind of, you have a yearly appraisal, and in some places you have maybe 6 monthly appraisals or 6 monthly developmental meetings with your manager, where you look at where you are as a professional and where you want to go. So if you find out, maybe your communication is not that great, for example, and you want to attend communication workshops, or you want to attend communication courses or undertake any courses, you inform your manager and you put a request a training request in, and then obviously if they've got a budget for it at that particular point in time, they would approve it for you to attend that meeting. So for you to attend that training or workshop. So there are employers are obliged, they're obligated, let me put it that way. They have the obligation to ensure that any training and developmental needs that are found out during your appraisals or your developmental meetings, one way or the other, they need to make provision for you to secure training or whatever for that development, for you to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. If they can't give you that funding now, there may be different options. They may say, okay, we can't fund your training or your course, but we can give you days of study days for you to attend that course. I myself, I've had to pay for several courses out of my own pocket, because again, if they haven't got that money and I feel like I need that to help me develop, I'm not going to wait around for them for 1 year or 2 years, because as a professional, as you're developing yourself professionally and personally, it increases your price. Let's put it that way. So wherever you go, you'll be a hot cake. People will be fighting, headhunting you for jobs. You understand? So it's not developing yourself as a professional. It's not entirely up to your organization that you work with. It's also your job to kind of make sure that you are A, looking for opportunities to develop, and B, seeking the funding for those opportunities. I think I've spoken about investments in your future. So there are some benefits depending on where you work. I mean, as a minimum, you'll be entitled to pension. So for your pension, whilst you're paying into your pension, your employer has to also pay into your pension pot. So for example, I work for the National Health Service. That's the government organization. And I pay 9.3% of pension every month. So when I do that, my employer also pays, I think, 3-point-something% on top of what I've already paid. So that when I do go for pension at whatever age the pension age is going to be, I'll be getting pension not only from the government as a minimum, I'll also be getting pension from my employer. So it's the money that I put into my pension pot plus the money that my employer puts in there. So and this to ensure that when you do get old and you do retire, you're not going to be living in abject poverty. Okay, because there are some people that do not pay or did not pay pension that are really struggling when they went on pension because they had no money coming in every month. So to avoid that, pension is compulsory for every healthcare organization. Everybody that you work for, they need to make sure that you pay pension, and again, they also pay into your pension as well. One of the most interesting bonus benefits of healthcare workers that I've come to realize is that some organizations are so desperate for healthcare assistants. They are desperate that they are offering all these incentives, and one of them is a bonus. So when you apply for the job, you get the job, you get a bonus. So the bonus sometimes ranges from £500 to up to maybe 3,000. I've seen £3,000 from some organizations. And what it is that they'll say to you, once you are successful in obtaining the job, and then when you start the job, maybe the first month you get half of the money, the second, maybe in about 3 months or 6 months, you get the rest of the money. And this is to ensure that people actually don't just come in for the money and leave, but you come in, you start a job, you see how it is, and then you get paid that first payment. And after a few months, you get paid that other payment as well. And that's to ensure that you stay in the job. And hopefully that 5 or 6 months give you the opportunity to actually make up your mind to say, look, I really want to stay in this job, or I don't want to stay in this job. But most people, most organizations that have these incentives, people sign up to them and they do stay with them. So it's I mean, I can't say you would or you wouldn't stay, but these are kind of benefits. They are doing everything they can. They are providing so many incentives because they are so desperate. There are hundreds and thousands, there are tens and thousands of HCA vacancies in the UK, in the England alone that I know of. Not to even talk about like Ireland and Wales and Scotland. So like healthcare assistants are the hot cakes at the moment. And I know Josiah said before that, this scheme that they've got going may come to an end at the end of 2022. It may happen, it may not happen, but whatever it is, we know that the people that are applying to the jobs, there's still vacancies, there are still gaps that needs to be filled. So even though they are probably foreseeing it, ending in at the end of 2022, I have a great feeling that they will probably still carry on, and they'll be recruiting HCAs from African countries and outside of the United Kingdom. So when it comes to the UK, the healthcare assistants, they are in different bands. And how do I even explain the bands? So the bands are the level that you are. So usually if you're coming from Africa or you're coming from outside the United Kingdom, you would start from a band 2. Okay. And then as the years go on, you develop yourself professionally, personally, you can then apply for band 3s and then the band 4s. So the band 4s are just one band before registered nurses. So the RGNs that we have in this country, they start from band 5. So when a nurse qualifies after 3 years at uni, they start from band 5, and the band 4 is a new role that's been introduced. I think it's been about 2 or 3 years now. It's been introduced. So they kind of they can undertake some of the tasks that nurses undertake, but they also have their limits, okay? But they are to kind of supplement or complement the nurses' role. So for you to become a band 4, you have to undertake some courses that have, you know, the NHS has agreed on. The RCN, who is a union body for healthcare professionals, they've agreed on that kind of course that for people have to undertake to become a band 4. Okay, so there are levels, and the thing is, you don't automatically go from a band 2 to a band 3 to a band 4. You have to kind of work for it. You have to apply for the jobs, go for the interview, and then obviously secure the jobs before you can move on to that band. So when you come to the pay, this is how much, I don't know if you can see my screen well, that's how much healthcare assistants get paid in the UK. Now, this is not the same for every healthcare organization. And as you can see on my slide, I've got on there that how much your salary, your yearly salary depends on where you are located, where you live. So if you live in London, you get more money than people that live outside London, because London is so expensive. London being the capital of England is very expensive. Therefore, the government had thought it wise to increase the salary so that after you've paid your bills, you will have something to buy food for yourself. You will not be living in poverty. So you find that if you're looking for jobs, the London jobs will have more, the salaries will be a bit more higher than those that live outside London. Also, your salary will depend if you work in the NHS, if you work in a care home or a private sector, if you work in a hospital, if you work in a domiciliary care, everywhere that you work may have their own salaries. But these are the basic ones that I found on the NHS website. For someone in the NHS as a band 2 with less than 2 years experience, you're looking at, you know, less than £19,000. And I think the minimum wage, because there's an agreed minimum wage for every person in the UK over the age of 18, I think, or over the age of 21, sorry. They have to earn a minimum wage. So I think at the moment it's about £10 and 9p. I may be wrong, but it's not less than £10. So everybody over the age of 21 has to earn £10 an hour. In the UK, obviously our salaries are calculated per hour. So, you know, that £10 per hour might equate to, I don't know, £19,000 a year if you're working 37.5 hours 37.5 hours a week. But depending on where you live, where you work, the salaries may differ. I know people in the care homes that earn a bit more than those that work in a hospital. I know people that work in a private sector that earn more than those that work in a hospital. So again, when you're looking for the jobs, not only are you looking for the locations and other benefits, you should also be looking at the salaries as well, because there's no point in you coming to work, earning all that money and spending all that on bills. And then at the end of the month, you've got nothing left. Because sometimes that's how it feels like, because there are so many bills we pay in this country. But I'm sure somebody else will discuss all that with you sometime this weekend. In the UK, we pay so much bills. So you have to make sure that the jobs that you're doing is giving you enough money at the end of the month to live and to survive and to send back home to your family if you have to do that. Okay. As you can see, the private sector, they earn a bit more than that, more than the NHS or the government hospitals. So as you can see here, I went on the NHS job website and I kind of screenshot different types of healthcare assistant jobs that we have available. So if you look at them, you see some of them are in different places. I've got one in Yorkshire. Yorkshire is in the northeast of England. So that's about 5 hours away from London. And you find that they're earning the same amount of money as those that live a bit nearer to London. But the thing is that in that part of England, the houses are very cheap. the cost of living is cheaper. So even though you're not earning as much as you would in London, because everything is so cheap in that place, at the end of the month, you have more money left to do whatever you want to do with the money. You can see that you've got healthcare assistants that are working in the renal unit, so things to do with your kidneys. You have healthcare assistants that are working in orthopedics and spinal surgery, some that are working in pharmacy, mental health, radiology departments. So like I said before, there's a lot of opportunities. You can work in so many diverse environments. You don't have to work in a hospital if you don't want to work in a hospital. Not everybody can stand blood or bodily fluid. So if you find that you're not that kind of person, there are so many different areas that you can choose to work in as a HCA. Okay. So what prospects can a HCA migrating to the UK expect? So like I spoke to you before earlier, we've got a band 3 to go on to progress onto the band 3, the band 4. Also to become, if you're working in a, for example, a nursing home or a residential home, you can go on to become a team leader, you can go on to become a unit manager, you can go on to become a deputy manager, or even a care home manager. And I know some care home manager jobs are being advertised for like £60,000 a year, and that's their basics. And they get bonuses as well on top of their basic salary. And there are some care home managers that are earning, or even deputy care home managers that are earning more money than like a doctor in a hospital. So again, you don't have to stay in a hospital because there are so many different prospects out there for healthcare professionals. As long as you've made your mind that you want to develop yourself professionally, you want to achieve more, because I mean, for me, I can't stay in one place for too long. I want to always, because there's always so much you can achieve as a healthcare professional. If you find that you don't want to stay in as a healthcare professional and you want to maybe go on to study nursing, you can put that forward to your employer. They can, sign you up to a nursing degree. You know, if you want to be a pediatric nurse or a general adult nurse, mental health nurse, whatever pathway in nursing that you want to go, you want to study, if you put that forward to your organization or to your manager, they will, register you and pay for you to become a nurse. But the thing is that sometimes they have clauses in their contracts, whereas they have clauses that says that after they've trained you, you may have to stay with them for maybe a year or two or something like that. Because obviously if they've invested in you, then they need to get something from you, once you qualify. So you may find those kind of clauses. But I think if they are developing you or they are paying for you to study to be a nurse, then I mean, staying for a year or two afterwards with them is not going to be a big deal. If you also want to maybe study to become a doctor, a pharmacist, anything you want to become, there's no limit. If you feel like I don't want to stay being a healthcare assistant after you've been here for a few years, as long as your visa permits you to, I'm sure you can go on to do whatever or study whatever you want to study. You are not limited to just being a HCA. Okay. So just to conclude and to round up on my presentation, so like I said before, HCAs, care support workers, are very vital to the MDT and the patient's journey. And I think I'm not scared to say this, without healthcare assistants, I don't think the nurses can do our jobs as effectively as we do when you are around us. So we do obviously appreciate and we do acknowledge all the hard work that healthcare assistants do in terms of helping their patients. Also, you guys are in high demand. Healthcare professionals, healthcare assistants are in high demand everywhere you go. I mean, I also own a healthcare recruitment agency, and what I do is I supply carers to care companies. Okay, so I'm forever looking for carers. I'm always advertising. I need carers in this area. I need carers in that area. We're paying this amount of money. So every single day when you log onto the internet, you're gonna see so many healthcare assistant roles being advertised. All right. So if you're applying, I know people have been applying and they're not getting anywhere. If you're applying and you're not getting anywhere, you're not being successful, just keep applying. And I think that's the reason why this particular bootcamp is very important, because it may be that you're not doing something right, or you're not doing something well enough. That's why you're not being successful in your application or in your interviews. So I will entreat you all, for those of you who are willing, I think there's a what's it called again? A mentorship, isn't there? There's a mentorship that is being run after this boot camp. So if you're interested, you could always sign up. I think Bethel will probably put the details in the chat section. You can always sign up to the mentorship where the people that are running the academy, the mentorship will kind of hold your hand and help you on your journey to applying and to becoming a healthcare worker in the UK. There's a potential for you to earn a bit more money. So apart from the money that you'll be earning as your basic salaries, you can also register with agencies such as the one that I run, or any other agencies where you can pick up ad hoc locum shifts and earn a bit more money in your free time. There's so much room for you to improve yourself personally and professionally that it's limitless. You can do whatever you want to do as long as you put your mind to it. And there's also the potential for you to establish a career in health and social care. And like I said, it's not just for you to go on to become a nurse. We can also become a pharmacist, a microbiologist, a biomedical scientist, whatever it is that you want to study is entirely up to you. But the prospects are endless when you do eventually migrate to the UK. So that's the end of my presentation. I hope it's been helpful. I'm ready for any questions.
I'm not sure Bethel is there. Bethel.
I couldn't hear her.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't muted. I'm saying thank you very much, Josephine. Thank you, because that was insightful. That was so on point. That was educative. That was something that we needed for the moment. Thank you so much for running us through what a UK HCA does, what is required, and so much that people should look forward to coming to the UK through this route. Thank you very much.
That's okay.
Thank you. And I just want to plead with you to hang on, because I know that there are lots of questions popping up in the chat section for you already. If you have questions for Josephine, you have questions based on what she has said tonight, you can begin to drop those questions in the chat room. And let us know, let us appreciate her also in the chat room. Let us show that we love her. Let's show that we love her. Let's just appreciate her for putting all this together. Over 19 years living in the UK, and then just coming to share our experience with us is something worthwhile. I want us to just go to the chat session and then tell her, thank you. We appreciate you. Share with us one or two things you have learned during the course of our presentation. Let's also have your questions, your inquiries, your comments in the chat session. Okay, I'm seeing one. Somebody is asking, what is the meaning of MDT? I think she mentioned it. She mentioned it that it's multidisciplinary team.
Yes, and that depending on where you work, it mostly involves nurses, healthcare assistants, doctors, physiotherapists, anybody that's involved in the care of the patient. It forms part of the MDT.
Okay, I'm sure. I hope the person has gotten that. That's the meaning of MDT. And then just hold on, let me check, trying to check the chat. Please drop your comments, drop your chats, drop your comments, your questions, your inquiries, all that you want to know. She's right here with us tonight. Somebody is asking, what about someone that does not have a preliminary nurse idea? Like me, I studied English and literature. Can I be able to do this without the nurse profession?
Yeah, I mean,
Josephine, did you get that?
yes. Can you hear me?
Can you please respond to that?
Can you hear me, Bethel? Because I'm speaking.
Yes, yes.
Josephine, you are audible.
Okay, so what I was saying was that I'm sure majority of the people on this call have no healthcare background. And I think at the last boot camp that we had, I think Josiah was encouraging people to maybe seek volunteering roles in hospitals or in any healthcare organizations in Nigeria or wherever it is that they are. So, I mean, it's not good enough saying I haven't got this experience. It's what are you willing to do to gain experience, you understand? So for those that haven't got any experience, maybe, you know, speak to any hospital or any healthcare organization in your area, maybe go there for maybe a month or two shadowing, you know, just to get that kind of experience, that kind of exposure, to give you a better understanding so that when you're applying for the jobs, you can actually put something more tangible in your personal statements, as well as when you're doing your interview, you can cite examples, you know, like, oh, even though I'm not qualified, you know, I've done this volunteering for a week or a month. It's kind of giving me a better insight into the healthcare profession, blah, 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 blah. You understand? So I think for you having that degree, it's not a bad thing, but you could also go that step further to, you know, to gain that experience, that exposure. And then obviously you can also go on some websites where you can study some modules, some care modules. I can't remember any of the website, but there are some websites that are offering free modules for you to study. So the care certificates, you're doing some mandatory training that are all free. And for those that are not even free, it's not too expensive. You know, you can always just pop on there, do some courses. Again, that will give you more understanding of what it is to be a healthcare professional in the UK. You understand? So that when you're doing when you're doing your applications or you're doing your interviews, you can articulate yourself a bit better because you have a better understanding of what it is to be a healthcare professional in the UK. I hope that makes sense.
All right, thank you very much, Josephine. Let me quickly add also that that's another reason why we have this boot camp. We're going to be answering so many questions, and if you recall on the flyer, we said, you know, this boot camp is for those who don't have any experience as a healthcare person. So I would say that you are in the right place. Yeah. Just hang on. Today is day one. You're going to have so much information, so much knowledge is going to be passed on within these 3 days that will help you. And like Josephine has said, you know, it's something that you can, even if you don't have the background, you can do it based on some steps that you're going to be taking from this boot camp, and you know, some of the other things that you will do to make you equipped for the work. Yes. Thank you very much. I think I'm seeing a hand raised up. I also want to still check the chat session for any more question for Josephine before we let her go tonight. Somebody is asking, Josephine talked about that she doesn't like to work for long at a place. Is job hopping really advisable in the
UK? Okay, so when I say I don't like staying in a job for too long, it's what I mean. I mean, the maximum I stayed in any one job was 3 years and 7 months. No, yeah, that's the maximum I've stayed in one job. And it's not because I like job hopping, but I think sometimes when you stay in one place for so long and you realize that you're not progressing, there's no need for you to be so comfortable that you don't want to move, you know. And that's what I was saying about you developing yourself. If you know what you bring to the table and you know what you can offer, then, you know, living where you are and going somewhere else shouldn't be a problem. You understand? You should not be restricted just because you're so comfortable in one place. And that's the thing for me. I always like to, you know, challenge myself. So therefore, I like to kind of go for challenging roles. If I find a job the role is not as challenging, because obviously if you're doing something for this, the same thing for 3 years, you won't have many challenges, if that makes sense. You know, you overcome those challenges within that 3 years. So in the end, you're just doing the same thing over and over again, and you don't get that job satisfaction. So for me, as a professional, I just, you know, move on every 3 years or so, you know, to better prospects, obviously. But I'm not an international nurse or, you know, international person, so I'm not restricted by any visa stuff. So I don't know what restrictions the visa that you guys get comes with, but I think there may be some restrictions in terms of how long you can stay in one place for, or if they give you that certificate of sponsorship, they may say you have to stay with us for 2 years or 3 years. But I wouldn't advise job hopping, but I think if you're doing it for a good cause, and you can explain it on your CV or in your interviews to your advantage, as if you can paint it in a good light, then job hopping should not be seen as something bad at all.
Thank you very much, Justin. In the UK, yeah, it's such a beautiful environment that if you're not satisfied with what you're doing, you can move, and nobody is there to judge you or say why are you not moving, or why are you moving, and all that. It's such a world of opportunity for you. So I want you to see it in that light, other than job hopping. See it in the light of
opportunities. Yes.
So if you come across endless opportunity, endless. And that's why we are sharing some of the opportunities with you.
Yes.
We're not holding any information, we're bringing it live and direct to you. Yeah. I would like at this point to recognize and appreciate Coach Stella. She is from the Travel Abroad community. Thank you so much for joining us. Not only Coach Stella, I would also like to appreciate all the members that are watching live from the UK Healthcare Way. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you very much. Josephine, we still have questions for you. Somebody is asking, what about trained nurses outside UK? Can they apply with their nursing experiences in their application? And then somebody is asking, what if I indicate that I'm a full nurse? Hope it won't affect my application for HCE.
Well, first of all, you have to declare everything on your application, all right? Because if you are a fully fledged nurse in Africa and you're coming here, you're applying for a healthcare assistant job, and you're not declaring in there in your CV or your experience or your personal statement, you'll be found out. And if you're found out, you probably will get, if you get a job and you get found out, you probably get fired because you're not truthful. And you could possibly be prosecuted or something. So I would say if you've got that experience, by all means, make it clear on your application. And I think there are ways that you can work that experience to your advantage. So there are some organizations that I've seen that are actually looking for registered nurses from Africa to come and work here as senior care assistants. So there are some organizations that are actually looking for this particular kind of person that's asking this question. So no, it's not a disadvantage, and you should not hide that from your application. You should be kind of working that into your personal statement to your advantage. You say, look, I'm a nurse in the wherever country you are in, and I've got this experience, that experience. I've got this transferable skills that I feel that I'll be able to bring to this role. Okay, so you should not lie about it, and you should try and find a way to work it to your advantage. But if you think there's going to be a problem, then I'll advise that maybe look for the organizations that are specifically looking for nurses from Africa to come and become senior care assistant. That way you won't have that worry.
Thank you, Josephine. Somebody is asking, how do we get the coaching assistance we need? Yeah, throughout this boot camp, we will be telling you all that you need to know, and then the next step for you to get one-on-one coaching, mentoring, somebody holding you by the hand to show you the way, the right way to go, and eventually helping you to get a job. That is what this boot camp, these 3 days, and whatever comes thereafter is all about. So you are in the right place, and then you will get to know. You will get the coaching right here. Somebody is asking, is it possible to apply without any previous degree? Is it possible to apply without any previous degree?
Yeah, they're not looking for degree. I mean, you know, there are some healthcare assistant job adverts that I've seen that states that it doesn't matter if you've got no background in health or whatever. So yeah, that's not gonna be a barrier at all. Again, that's why I keep saying, any skills that you've got, whatever job you're doing now, any skills that you've got, you can transfer that, you know, communication skills, your empathy, your customer service skills. Those are the things that you can transfer into a healthcare professional job. You understand? So it shouldn't be a barrier. You should apply for the job as long as you're able to, again, you know, I keep saying again and again, but as long as you're able to kind of state in your personal statement how you're going to bring your skills to this job and help in the role, then it shouldn't be a matter at all. Some people have to come from with no background in anything, and they've succeeded in getting a healthcare assistant job, and they flourish in that career. So no, nothing should be a barrier. As long as you have some kind of basic skills that you're looking for, and the knowledge and the willingness to learn and to develop, I don't think it should matter at all. But these are the things that we can go a bit deeper into once you sign up to the mentorship, you join the mentorship coaching thing.
Okay, so from Coach Stella's page on Facebook, because we have lots of people watching from YouTube and Facebook and other platforms, somebody is asking, can someone go without IELTS general exam?
Should I let you answer that question, Bethel? Because I'm not so sure about the English.
Well, I would say more. We have covered a lot. We are going to cover a lot within the course of this 3 days boot camp. Tonight is just letting you have an introduction of, you know, the job role as HCA, what does it mean and everything. Tomorrow morning is another session. We have it all packed. We're going to be talking about the requirements, the things that you need on one of the times of, you know, the boot camp. So you don't want to miss that. But I will say that you will need definitely an IELTS exam, and you're going to be needing it in the course of your visa application. So you will get more information about that. There's another question: how can the certificate and application process with someone that can write? How can I get the certificate and application process with someone that can write my CV? We do all that. And just hang in, ensure you are here tomorrow morning, ensure you attend the evening session and the Sunday session. Every of your questions regarding this would be answered. Then there's another question from Sherry Jerry. She wants to know if the organizers of this boot camp help someone with the application process. Okay, you want to answer that, Josephine? She wants to know if the organizers of this boot camp do help with the application process.
Yeah, so just like you said, Bethel, you're going to give them a bit more information over the weekend.
More information.
Yes. But there's that option for that hand-holding, you know, to go through your application process.
Yes.
And I think that will also be discussed further, you know, throughout the boot camp.
Yes, everything will be talked about. Everything that will also feature during the course of this program. Well, I'm not seeing any more comments on the charts for Josephine. I'm sure we would have more tomorrow, and then you know, as the day progresses, as the boot camp progresses. So we would have more, and we look forward to everyone joining day 2 tomorrow, and then, you know, joining also in the evening and on Sunday. So quickly before we go, can I just appreciate everybody for coming tonight, and then ask JJ to say one or two things before we go. JJ, are you in the house? Hello, JJ.
Oh, someone is asking a question.
Okay, there's a question again. Let me quickly have a look. Okay, do HCA also do agency nursing?
Well, it's not agency nursing, but yeah, they do
Yeah.
local shifts. Yeah. And that's what I was saying earlier, that I've also got a healthcare recruitment agency that I supply. So the HCAs that sign up with me as an agency, they are then sent off to work for a care company. Yeah, so there's that potential as well. Yes.
Yeah. So doing agency work is like you picking up shifts from
if and when you can.
places, yes, apart from where you work originally, you register with them whenever they have shifts and all that, you pick it up, you go to that place, work, and then you earn extra, which in most cases is more. So that's it. So HCA is also
for those that work in NHS, they've also got NHS professionals, which is like the supplier of bank staff. So even if you're working in a hospital, in your own hospital, if they've got NHS professionals, you can register with them, and then you can pick up extra shifts within your hospital. It can be on your own ward or a different ward, but you can do that, and you earn more money as well. You earn more money compared to what you earn in your own job. Yeah. So if you are someone who doesn't drive and you don't want to move around so much, and you work in a hospital, you have that option of registering with NHS professionals and working that extra shift in other wards.
Okay, thank you very much. So somebody's asking, I think that's the final question we'll take, is asking, does your own will I say recruitment work with immigrants, or is it only locals?
At the moment, it's just only locals, because I'm not able to supply certificates of sponsorship yet.
Okay.
Because you need that to get
need that to get that. All right. So thank you very much, Josephine. Thank you for spending your time.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, your very precious time with us. Thank you so much. And I would like to call Linda for the closing remark. Linda Kagendo. If you can hear me, can you just give us a closing remark? And then everybody, I want to go to the chat session and just let us know how great you've been tonight. Let us know what you have learned from the presentation from Josephine tonight. Yeah, you're saying it's interesting and all that. Let's know what you've learned also. While Linda comes up, Linda Kagendo. Linda Kagendo, can you just give us the closing remark?
Hello. Hi, Linda. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. We can hear you. Good evening.
I'm sorry you can't be able to see me today, probably tomorrow.
All right. It's all right.
But it's such a delight to be here. My name is Linda. I'm a nurse educator here in Kenya. And it's such a lovely experience being here with you all this evening, having this beautiful conversation of how we are having opportunities for people, especially in the United Kingdom. I'm grateful, and a big thank you to the organizers, to you, our beautiful moderator, our lovely speaker, Josephine. She has really given us a good background of who HCAs are, their roles, the skills that they need for them to be able to work in the UK, among many other things that they have talked about. So what a beautiful opportunity that we would be able to grab and run with it. And as our two speakers have already said, it's an opportunity, and in most cases, opportunities come once. So why don't we grab these opportunities and run with them? And it's such a blessing that we are having people who are here to work with us. You're not walking alone. So you're not afraid of stumbling along the road. So let's come together, assist one another, having people ready to work with us. I'm sure we are going to be able to achieve the dream of living a better life in the UK. And so with that said, I would like to urge us to continue being here, attend our sessions tomorrow morning, tomorrow evening, and the day after. You just can't miss this out. It's so empowering, and I am sure that it's something that is going to be life transforming for each and every one of us. A good night to each one of you. See you tomorrow, and back to our moderator, Bethel.
Thank you very much, Linda. Thank you. So tomorrow, 8 a.m. is the time. 8 a.m. is the time. You will get the link to join in 8 a.m. Make sure that you're here and ready, as tomorrow we'll be dealing with, so many interesting topics that you don't want to miss out. So tomorrow, 8 a.m. we'll be here. Hope to see you soon. Hope to see you here tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all. Have a good night. Thank you, Bethel.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.